Welcome to our final instalment of Bits of Wit, Wit Incorporated's web series, Creating Art Throughout Isolation. I'm Elle Boydell and I'm a company member with Wit Incorporated. I'd first like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which Wit Incorporated meets, connects and creates, the Wurundjeri Woiwurrung and Bunurong people of the Kulin Nation. We pay deep, deep respects to elders past, present and emerging. We acknowledge the care that generations of these people have given the land on which we're so lucky to live. And we also acknowledge that sovereignty over this land was never ceded. In this time of sort of fracture and coming together from different parts, we also extend our respects to elders and First Peoples across Australia. You're about to see the premiere launch of our final Bit of Wit, Pretend by Lansy Feng, where we will check back in on the love story of Chuen-Jiau and Yue. Bits of Wit is a series of original works reimagined and created for the screen, supported by creative Brimbank and Arts and Culture Now Bunurong. After the video, please be sure to stick around and join me for a conversation with writer and performer Lansy Feng. In the meantime, please like our video, subscribe to our channel so that we can connect to more audiences. And if you love what we do, also consider making a donation to Wit Incorporated so that we can continue on strongly. But for now, please settle back and enjoy Pretend.
Bonjour, je parle français. I speak French now. Oh. Croissant, baguette. Croissant. Ooh la la. Anyway, back to the story. I remember Yue and I dated for about 2 years and I felt pregnant. Yeah, you're supposed to touch more than hands to get pregnant. Mom lied. So I wanted to give our child a French name because everything in French sounds so romantic. Even croissant sounds romantic. Croissant. Yeah, but Yue insisted that we are not calling our child croissant. So I grabbed one of his French book and started to look for names. Listen to these great names. Camille, George, Escargot. And that's when everything went wrong. Yue's married back in France.
You wouldn't lie to me.
They had a daughter. We can fix this. He loves me.
Remember that day from far away. We were holding hands, watching a beautiful wedding. Imagine making that red dress. Remember that night under starlight. I found your eyes. Your vow traveled through time.
Yue came back that night. We had a fight. I passed out and stayed in the hospital for a month. Yue disappeared. I was lost.
还记得那天站在这里，我们牵着手，看着那场美丽的婚礼，想象一起走到白头。还记得那夜星空下你的出现，兑现穿越时空的誓言，我们终能再续前缘。我能假装我没有看见，假装你一直没变，假装我的梦会实现，请回到我身边。我能假装命运能重现，假装我不曾落泪，假装我心没醉的洒满的糖线，只要你再看我一眼。
Welcome back. I hope you all enjoyed that. And I am, of course, joined now by writer, songwriter, and performer Lansy Feng for a bit of a chat about the making of this work.
说中文的朋友们，如果喜欢我们的影片，请帮我们订阅跟分享。然后在接下来的演员访谈后，这部剧就会在我们频道找到，而且有中英文字幕可以选择哦。谢谢。
Thanks, Lansy. For those who, like me, only speak English, Lansy was just letting some folks know that the video with accurate subtitles in both Mandarin and English will be available on our YouTube channel soon. And now this is our chance to have a chat and hear from Lansy about the process. If you have any questions, please feel free to pop them into the chat box on the side. But first up, I would like to acknowledge your wonderful original song, Lansy, that features in this video. You wrote the song Pretend for the 2019 season of How I Met My Dead Husband, and you of course wrote it across 2 languages. Can you tell us a little bit about your songwriting process?
The process was actually quite funny because at first I was planning to use a different song. Well, in the first season of How I Met My Dead Husband was used one of the songs from musical, but then after the director and me having some development of the show and then rewriting and fixing, and we changed to another Chinese song and we translate the song into English and then prepare to sing half English, half Chinese, like Pretend. But then I think it was probably 2 weeks or 3 weeks before, and we realized that we don't have the license for that song because there's some license issues with that song within their own company, so that we couldn't use that song. So then it was like all of a sudden I went, oh my god, I can't let this show just fell through, and I gotta do something. So that afternoon, just grabbed all my stuff and then brought my piano and went to our Sunshine Art Space and just sit down there by myself and started to write a song. And then I think it's the adrenaline helping, and then I just finished the song in the afternoon, and hence we got the song.
I think that's a very impressive creative output for one afternoon, certainly. And I think it's one of the most sort of soulful parts of the whole piece. It's fantastic. We have a question from the audience. Johan, how did you choose the names you read from the French book?
The French book, okay, because for someone who doesn't speak French, the book cover, a French book, it looks like just a French book to me. I don't understand everything, even the cover. So it's from the Chuen-Jiao's point of view that she doesn't know any French words. So she's look at the book. Yeah, it is a French book. And what she understands is that's something in French. So that's how we make the cover. It's from her point of view to look at that book. Yeah.
And how about the names you read out from the book? Camille, Georges, and Escargot. How did you pick those names?
They are my nephew's names.
Escargot.
Yeah, Escargot. I just love Escargot. That's what.
I have a really important question. How many times did you throw the broccoli? And a follow-up, did you ever find out how to say broccoli in French?
Broccoli throwing, it did take probably 7 or 8 takes of different way of throwing broccoli. Sometimes throwing that way, sometimes throw to the bag, sometimes just throw freely. At the end, I picked one that I think it did the justice. And no, I don't know how to speak. I don't know how to say broccoli in French, but I know there's some French audience. So please feel free to put in the comment.
Oh yes, we love that input. Another follow-up, did that particular head of broccoli ever make it into dinner?
Oh yeah, definitely. It was delicious.
Lansy, one of the things I noticed in this video was the different stylings of the two different Chuen-Jiaos, the more sort of recent narrator in her current life, and also the Chuen-Jiao in her previous life. How did you make the decisions about their styling?
Because in Pretend song, it's really the emotion there, the feeling there is really strong. I think it will be better for the Chuen-Jiao in the past who's actually there to sing the song rather than the now Chuen-Jiao who is telling the story. So I decided to make that Chuen-Jiao come to the screen to make her sing that song and then to present that what happened in that moment. Yeah, so that's why I decided to make 2 Chuen-Jiaos in here. Yeah.
I really liked the choices you made around lighting with the different kind of color palettes that you used with them as well. It was really helped translate the 2 different lives. In other important news, we do have confirmation that broccoli in French is broccoli.
Oh, okay. Oh, great. Good to know. Thank you.
Which really just adds to the comedy of the piece when you know that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I want to ask, we've got another question. Speaking of broccoli, can you tell us about the friends who are sitting behind you right now?
Oh, yeah. My broccoli friend. He's a superhero. He's got a cape and he saved the world. He's got a mask as well. It's a present from my husband. So yeah, because I love broccoli. So in the video, I threw the broccoli. It didn't mean that I don't like broccoli. I love it. It's just that I happen to have broccoli in my fridge. So then, so it's in the show.
Needs must in these times of restriction and isolation after all.
Definitely.
Moving on from broccoli though, I do have another question, which is about the process of pulling together something so quickly. We were, as Wit Incorporated, were lucky enough to receive some quick response funding, thanks to Brimbank and Marabonong. And a lot of artists have similarly been responding to things really quickly and making things really quickly at the moment. What's been your experience of pulling this together so quickly with so little time between the shoot and the edit and the release of the video?
it was really fun for sure, the process. Basically, because at first we started with writing the script, changed from a theater script into a screenplay, but then you don't know if it will work, like everything will work when you put it in. So what I do is I just started to do set up scenes and everything, and use camera just to start to do some test shoot and shoot some takes and see how it goes. And you change you change the script and modify it, and then see what works, what doesn't work, and then you just keep changing until everything works at the end. So it's a lot of trial in such short time, but it's also really great learning experience because you're in lockdown and you got nothing, no crew, and so a lot of props you don't have, or not enough lights and stuff. So you're gonna think of what you can use to put all these together. For example, the Chuen-Jiao's costume when she was in the past, that one was one of my pajamas, because I don't have anything that's in Qing Dynasty in that old time. So then one of my pajamas, that the silk kind of the feeling is, and the pattern is quite similar to what they wear, the color and stuff that time. So then I just cut open all the buttons and then resew it and make it into a closing on the side instead of back in the middle, to make it look a little bit like that time. Same thing with last time with the soldier, the soldier scarf. That was my red stocking. So, so when I film the soldier, you cannot see the back, because when you see the back, you can see my stocking hanging there. And so when I was filming at home, every time I passed by my husband, he just laughed. You see the stocking dangling.
That's such a great example of the kind of creativity and ingenuity that you've used throughout this process, and also some of the tricks that you can get away with on screen that might be harder on stage. Thank you so much, Lansy, for sharing some of your creative experience. And thank you also all of those who've come along on this Bits of Wit journey with us. It's been great to have audiences joining us live, as well as people tuning in to watch the videos later. You'll be able to continue finding the 4 great videos that make up Bits of Wit on our YouTube channel and our social media, and we hope you will continue to enjoy those, or tune into any that you haven't had the chance to see yet. But for now, I will say a big thank you, Lansy, and thank you all, and enjoy the rest of isolation.
Thank you.